Well, hello, and welcome back. I'm AJ O'Neill. I'm live coding, and what we're working on is a problem with a client application and Okta tokens. So, give me just a second to get my bearings, and then I'll kind of explain what's going on here. So, one thing. Oh, whoops! I don't even have the chat open. I tell you what, you don't stream for a week, you really lose the groove. You gotta you start from ground zero. Gotta get back into it. Oh, bother. Okay, so first things first. My leg is okay. I'm just kind of, I don't know how to explain it. It's weird. I believe that I do in fact have a torn hamstring because of the experiencing the pop snap kind of thing, as well as the not being able to bear any weight on it at first. But I was able to get back to walking quickly, but it just on even ground. But if I get away from that, it's hard to walk on uneven ground. It's not about the weight, it's the angles or the movement of the muscles or something. Anyway, but I'm doing okay there. I'm walking again. That's great. Also, let's see. I don't remember what else, but let's have a word from our sponsor, but not really our sponsor, Mr. Mountain Dew. Pop it up, my friends, because it is time to open focus. And with that out of the way, third Mountain Dew of the day. Good day. So here's the problem. So you can see this is developer.okta.com, and here are some guides. Oh, by the way, welcome to those of you joining in. I'm AJ. Would love to know who you are, where you're from, what brings you to the channel today. It's Kai. What's up, Kai? Hey, how you doing? So I started watching some of your videos. You do a lot of, it looks like Linuxy kind of IT type stuff. And there's I've got a couple queued up to watch, but you're a cool guy. I enjoyed, the kind of getting to know you a little bit through the videos finally. So, hello to you. Welcome back. So the problem we have is that you can see we're looking at the developer documentation here, and the developer documentation tells you to do exactly what you're supposed to do with OpenIDC tokens. OpenID Connect or OIDC tokens, which is that you're supposed to decode the token, look at the issuer, go grab the token, the keys from the JWKS, having trouble speaking right now, JWKS URI. Where did they put that at? Oh yeah, right here. Yeah. And it says if the key ID, so you want to go fetch key IDs. Let me just show you exactly what this is like. I think I can do it. I think they have example.okta.com. Yeah. Okay, so here it is. So you go here, you go to the issuer of issuersexample.okta.com, then you go find JWKS URI right here, and then we go there. And then we get a list of keys, and the keys have a key ID, and the key ID that is in this URL from the issuer of the token. So that's the issuer of the token. You go grab the keys, follow this redirect thing, go get the keys. The keys listed in this keys file should match the token that you get. And that's what the documentation says. And this is just the normal standard thing. Yes? Oh, okay. Okay. So you've been using Okta? Yeah. So you constantly need to log in. The admin probably misconfigured it. Yes. Okta is meant for some hardcore stuff. So I'm not surprised, that it would have you relogging. They have very enterprisey options on that. Anyway, let me bring up a message real quick. Let me see if I can grab it, because I got in touch with support about this not working. Let's see. Let me go grab. Where is this? All right. So there's a support, and maybe I just missed this. Let me see. Is there anything else here? No. No, this is all just good stuff. Okay. Good stuff about validating tokens. All normal, expected stuff. So then we go here and we've got this support article from Okta. What about when the signature validation is failing on a token that you're getting? And let's see. Yeah, signature fails because the key ID and the access tokens header does not have a matching key ID from the endpoint. That just, using the examples that I just gave. This is expected. By design, Okta does not provide keys for access tokens minted by an Okta org. Instead, you pass it in the authorization header to the user info request. So I don't see how you reconcile these things. So I guess we think we're getting an ID token, but we're actually getting an access token. Maybe that's what it is. That's what I'm gonna debug right now. So this is just kind of a recap on it. I've got both pieces of documentation open. And we're just gonna try to figure out what's going wrong. And it's been a while since I have logged into this, or not logged in, but I've gotten into this repo. So I'm just open this up on the other screen real quick, and then I'll bring it over. Let's see. We're going into API. Okay, so I know what I need to do here. I know what I need to do as my workaround. So instead of validating the token in the normal OIDC way, I have to validate the token in what I called a workaround, what they called expected. So, and they're citing here, the reason is that an ID token is for authentication, an authorization token is for access. And maybe we're requesting the wrong token ID. That could be it. So I will double check that before I go too far down the rabbit hole here. Why Okta? That's what the client's using. So I'm not choosing Okta for them. They've been using Okta. And so that's just what already exists. But my experience with Okta has been reasonably good from the user side. But I think what I'm going to find is, I think now reading the documentation a second time, so it's actually good that I re-explain the problem. Because going through this a second time, I'm realizing it may be a query parameter issue, that they're passing a query parameter asking for an access token, and we should be passing the query parameter asking for an ID token. So I am going to check that first. Let's see. I think we're decoding, verifying, require user. Let's see, verify claims. I put that in, what did I put that in? Live off. Yeah, so I'm just using verifying here. Yeah, this is the part where it was failing. Is it's getting the OIDC token and it's saying, hey, who are the allowed issuers? Okay, allowed issuers is going to have the Okta URL in it, and then it's going to take the token, it's going to verify it, and we're going to get the decoded token, which is also known as a JWS. So when you decode a JWT, it's called JWS. Little known fact. Jose Web Signature, maybe, is, I don't know whether it's supposed to be JSON Web Signature or Jose Web Signature. I don't remember, but it's one of those two. And then the other one is Jose Web Token / JSON Web Token. I think it's actually JSON Web Token. They should call it Jose Web Token because it's not JSON. It's base 64 encoded. It's Jose. All right. So what I'm going to do over on the other screen here is I'm going to get the latest version of their project. Let's see. Let me make sure. Access token. All right. I think. Oh gosh, you got to be kidding. No. No. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Oh, they're hard coding their passwords into the front end application committed to the Git repository. What do you do? What do you do? Because people, they always say, "Oh, it's just temporary. Someone's going to forget to remove that, and one day, some part of the Git repository is going to be made public, and then, oh well." I will advise them to rotate that once they take it out. You don't ever commit credentials to a Git repository unless it's a Git repository that's explicitly for credentials. That's the purpose of the repository. Basically, it's a secrets store, which of course you're supposed to encrypt those and all that, but so be it. Okay. By the way, Kai, how are you feeling? Did you? I think your 3 days of quarantine or sick leave. I don't remember what the terminology was on that. Has passed now. I assume you're feeling better. You were feeling better before. So are you back to your regular day to day? Let's see. So on the other screen here, I'm just looking through trying to find the place where, okay, new Okta auth. Let's see. New Okta auth, issuer, client ID, redirect. I wonder if we can specify query params. I'm just going to poke around a little bit over here. Replace Okta auth. I have a hard time believing that the default behavior would be to give it, because there's no place that I can see here where they're requesting anything special, where they're saying, for example, oh, make sure to give me these permissions, or I want an access token that has these properties associated with it. It looks like a plain Jane request here. I don't know. Yeah. Let's see. All right, I'm just looking through some more code. All right. Let's see. Yeah. I don't see anything here that suggests to me that they are requesting any type of permissions. Yeah, okay. Auth state. Ah, okay. I do see a mention of access token here. I'm just going to look at, let me look at documentation for Okta React. Okta React ID token. So it does look like they were trying to grab the access token rather than the ID token. Let's see. What is this library called? At Okta, Okta auth.js. Yep, that's right. That's the one. Let's see if we can find anything here about ID token. ID token. Yeah. ID token. Token manager. Let's see. Auth client. Token manager. ID token. This looks kind of weird to me. I'm not really clear on what they're trying to do there. Get user info. TypeScript, man. Too much syntax. Too much C#. Redirect URI. Response type. PKCE. Public key something something. This is new to me. Let's see if I can figure out what this is about. Proof key for code exchange. Meh. Alright. Implicit. Do I get to choose what type? Parse from URL. Yeah. Feeling a bit run down, demotivated. I get that. For me, when I take a break from something, it's hard to get started again. So, for example, it's been a week, I think, since I last streamed, other than I did stream. I think I streamed a game on Saturday. Yeah, but it was really hard. I was working on various things for a couple of hours. I probably could have been streaming some of that, but I just didn't because it's the mental burden of getting back into it is really tough for me. Is that kind of the thing that you're similar to your demotivation feeling, or is it more the lag of the sickness? The body's good enough, but not great. Oh, and hello to those of you joining in. I'm AJ. Would love to know who you are. What brings you to the channel today? I'm trying to figure out some stuff with Okta. I know what my core problem is. Or I know what the workaround that I can take is, and I'm just checking to see what and that problem is that I have the wrong type of token, and one bit of documentation says here's how you validate the token, and the other bit of documentation says, hey, don't validate the token. I'll send these across the wire. Do validate token. Okta says do validate token. Okta says JK, do not validate token. But I think this whole thing may just be that the response type needs to be set to, yeah, it says ID token here. I need to learn whatever PKCE is. It says something about browser support. Oh, good. Clock skew. Max clock skew. I like that. I've toyed around with using the word tolerance and leeway, but just explicitly calling it clock skew. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. I like that naming there. I'm going to try to remember that for the future. In fact, I'm going to make a note of that right now. Auth 3000. Let me go ahead and just put in an issue here. That's not a vulnerability. It was just a dev dependency that's not even in use. I just need to update the main branch. Okay. Naming things. Leeway. So tolerance. Max clock skew. I like what Okta decided to name theirs. Max clock skew. It's a good name. Okay, let me go. Ignore lifetime. That's interesting as well. Transform auth state. Huh. Dev mode. That's nice. Client secret. What? Okay. They're just putting it there. They're documenting it here. This is good. I've done this before. I like it when people do this. Put the thing that people shouldn't do in the documentation, because they're going to search for, oh, what do I do with the client secret? And they're going to go search the documentation. And if you only have the client secret in the server-side documentation and they see how to construct the URL in the server-side documentation, they're just going to put it in there. But if you put in the docs, here's the client secret, don't use this on the client side. That's great. That's awesome to document it that way. Storage manager. Yeah, I like that. That's pretty cool. So the API here seems pretty sane. Token manager, auto renew. I could take some ideas out of this. Local storage default. Ha! Take that, all of you no local storage complainers. People say, oh, you don't store stuff in local storage, it's not secure. I just saw it. I'm not going to take the time to pull up the thread right now. But there was a thread about this on Twitter, and I was happy to see that some people said, wait a minute, sure you can. Why not store it in local storage? And then they gave the reasons. If your app is compromised, then people can get the keys no matter where you put them. Okay. Whew. Kind of a big library, though. Lots of stuff here. All right. So, yeah, that's too long. All right. So over here in the other window, what I'm going to do, I don't see any place where response time, whoops. Let me scroll back up here. Response, no, this screen. I think I need to reboot or something. There we go. Scope, state, nonce, max age. Okay. I think get with pop-up, get with redirect, get with prompt. This is great. Yeah, this I actually back in days of yore, I was working on an auth library and I did very similar to this, so it's validating to see that a lot of the approaches that I took are also approaches that they're taking. If they're a big name in the space, I must not have made that bad of choices. Of course, then the browser cookie policy changed, and a lot of the stuff that I was doing quit working, and then that project got canned. I have done so many auth projects that end up getting canned because of some major change in how things are done right around the time. I was working on one, and then OIDC came out, and I had implemented almost exactly what OIDC does in terms of the different parties involved with the issuer and the audience, etc. I just had different names for it because I didn't know about OIDC. I guess it had probably already been developed, but it wasn't popular yet. Okay, so I think, yeah, so that kind of thing you can't do anymore without having custom domains. Okay, I'm just gonna look through here and see. About the access token. What is going on? Also, oh, whoops. My little, there we go. Oh, no, bring it over here. My key mabob. There we go. Was stuck on the other screen. There we go. Now it's popping up again. Now y'all can see what command keys I'm hitting. But I don't know what is going on with my bar redoing. Something's glitchy. I probably need to reboot. Well, hello to those of you joining in. I'm AJ. I'd love to know who you are, what brings you to the channel today, where you're from, what do you do. Feel free to drop me any questions that you have in the chat. Chat's open both on YouTube's and Twitch's, and I will try to answer. Note, links are disabled because of spamminess, but if you do want to toss me a link, just let me know, and I'll let you in the Discord, and you can toss a link there. Let's see. Okay, I think I'm just at the point where I need to just go ahead and build the client side, which I can't show you that, unfortunately. So I've got the client side stuff over here on this other screen. So there's two screens. There's the screen that you're seeing, this screen, and then there's the screen that you don't see, which is actually, if I put my hand all the way over, let's see, can you, it'll eventually reach there, right? No. I see the reflection. I don't see, oh, there it is. Yeah, if you look at the end of the, all the way over there. Yeah, over. No, there. Never mind. Doesn't matter. Okay, but anyway, so I'm gonna build the front end and run that and see if I can grab the Okta token, and then see if it actually does give me the ID token as well, and see if the ID token validates. Because if the ID token validates, then I'm all good. I just tell them, hey, set property response type equals ID token. Done. So that would be awesome. Sign in with redirect, get user info, set user info, info console.log user info. Okay. And it seems to be, I'm a little confused because it's all commented out, the part that seems that it handles the authentication. I think they commented it out so that I would be able to see what it looks like. And not have to authenticate. But then, you know, I can't test things. So let me try npm run start here. And one of the things I don't like about Create React App is it takes forever to boot anything up. You know, it's just crazy to me how slow web development is getting, how complex and how slow. I think we need to go back to where you can pretty much just copy and paste an example of a small snippet of code and have it work. Things have gotten too over-engineered and over-architected. Okay, where is this going to pop up? Oh, bring it on over. Okay. It's still loading. This is Create React App for you. Still loading. So, you got any good jokes while we wait? Two men walk into a bar. One says, ouch. I heard one that was really funny recently actually at one of the meetups. While we were having technical difficulties, the presenter started telling jokes. And let's see. It was a kid tells his friend, hey, do you want to know how to make some money real fast? And the friend and the kid says, of course, well, yeah, I do. And then he says, go up to an adult and tell them, I know the truth. And so he goes up to his dad and he says, I know the truth, Dad. And then his dad says, oh, well, don't tell your mom. Here's $10. Just stay quiet. And then he goes over to his mom, and his mom says, and he says, I know the truth, Mom. And then his mom gives him $20, and it goes away. Okay, this thing is still not loading. I'm going to try to reload it. Ugh. I hate this crap. I hate it when things don't work. Anyway, so then the mailman is coming down the street, and he goes up to the mailman, and he says, hey, mister, I know the truth. And the mailman says, you do? Come here, son. He told it a lot more better. Dang it. I'm going to have to go look. Let's see. It was /login/auth. Again, sorry I can't show this on the screen. I'm going to go. Oh, good. It's /auth. Sweet. Okay. So, just making a note to self here. That's where I go to log in. I'm going to click log in. It's actually going to log me in. And now I gotta open up the Okta op. I'm so tongue-tied today. Yes, it's me. Okay, and it's logging me in. And what I'm hoping to see is a token. So I've got the network tab open. So just to kind of give you an example of what I'm doing, even though it's different because it's on the other screen, it's a different app. I'm just looking through the network tab, looking for something that looks like a token response. So I'm just going through like that, looking for something that appears to be Oh, this is it, isn't it? No, that's not it. Let's see. Bum, 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 bum. Where is... I've got preserve log checked up here. So that way... And disable cache. So those two things are helpful because as it's doing redirects and whatnot, it's catching the redirects. So that hopefully I end up with the right stuff. Okay. So sad. All right, callback code. Here we go. Redirect Okta. State. Code. Dang it. So it looks like I get a code in the browser that I'm guessing gets exchanged for the access token or ID token. However, I don't get to see it. Okay, I need to open up a different computer here. Sorry. It's definitely not going to be on this screen. So this computer is special because it connects to the client's VPN, and some of the part of this app only works if you're connected on the internal network, which is kind of silly. So anyway, I'm gonna get this thing connected here. So for those of you that are hanging out with me, what are you up to? Are you on the other side of the world? Okay, let's see. Oh, it's been about a week since I've logged into this thing. I think the battery went dead. Oh, no, it didn't. It's still at 85%. I guess it's just gone into deep sleep. Now it's up. Come on. There we go. Oh, goodness. And I cannot remember. I have the worst password on this system, but it's because I had to pick something that I could remember. Because I can't use a password manager. Blah. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to try this out. Oh, cool. Alright, I think there's a different version of the app here. Oh no, please don't tell me that I'm still... Okay. So one of the problems is that I actually don't have access to the app, and so I haven't been able to debug it. That was one of the things that we had. And then we were having the back and forth with the tech support. Okay. Let me just see if I can get to this thing. I gotta connect to the VPN. There we go. Yeah, so the last time that I tried this out... Oh! I'll get to that comment in just a second. Push sent. I gotta open up my phone. Yes, it's me. I think that's kind of cool. The push notification. Yes. So the VPN does this redirect where the VPN software opens the browser and then goes back and opens the VPN software. Oh, left me. Anyway, so the last time that I was on this app, I think one of the problems was that I couldn't get the token because for some reason my email address was not registered for the app. Hopefully they've got that fixed. I think they have because it was going through the flow further along on this bit here. Let's see. No, that's not doing anything for me. How about login? If I go /login, is that going to go anywhere for me? Something's not right here. Okay, anyway, let me look at the comment. Exploring some DynamoDB stuff and trying to keep on top of AWS reInvent news. Oh, are they having their conference right now? Is it called reInvent? What's the core benefit of DynamoDB? If I remember correctly, it's basically, I think, an indexed. It's single tables, non-relational, right? But it's indexed structured data, if I remember correctly. Do I recommend the 14-inch? Well, the question is versus what? So I got the 16-inch. I don't remember if you saw that, but the 16-inch finally came. And so this is the 16-inch. I sent the 14-inch back. I have no regrets about upgrading to the 16-inch. 14-inch is great. But the price difference between the two is almost nothing. I think it's $100 or $200. So for that, for me, it's worth it to have the bigger screen. And it still fits in my bag. It's the exact same size as, well, actually, it's a millimeter or a fraction of a millimeter thinner than the other MacBook Pros. It just doesn't look it because instead of having the beveled edges, the edges are a little more square. And so these look thinner. The perception is that they're thinner. These other ones here. Oops. As you can see, the perception is that they're thinner because the way they curve the edges. But in that one, because they're packing in the extra battery, they need the extra airflow, etc., it looks bigger, but it is actually, if you measure it with, oh God, I'm forgetting the name of that thing. But the pincer thing that measures, it's escaping me. It's actually it's a hair's width thinner, so it fits in the bag just fine. But the 14's good. They're the same computer. The difference is that the 16-inch obviously has the 16-inch screen. It has more battery life. It has more airflow, which means that you can turn on a performance mode that it gives you a warning when you turn it on. This may make the fan louder. Of course, the fan is barely perceptible compared to the old MacBook 2012 or 2015. When the fan is on full throttle in the M1 Max, it's a whisper. The other difference is you have bigger speakers, and the headphones support high impedance headphones. So I don't think they give the spec of what high impedance means, but I might be able to run the DT880s off of that without an amplifier. That's the implication. Okay. I'm back over here, and I guess I'm just going to have to check my browser history. I don't know. Okay. I don't know how to get it to cause me to need to log in. I don't remember. They told me something to do. Oh wait, I think I'm getting a message here in good old black on black. Gotta love dark mode. Because anywhere where the font hasn't explicitly been set to white, it's black. But no, that doesn't seem to be. Let's see, admin login. No, that's not it. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Let's see. I can't get it to. Oh wait. Oh, I saw it. Unfortunately, I did not have the inspector open. Okay, so dang it. Let me clear out network log here. Hit enter. Is it doing the redirect? Because sometimes it does the redirect so fast you don't even know that the redirect happened. Because I saw the redirect a moment ago. But I think now I'm logged in, and so it's not redirecting. So what I need to do, here's what you do in this case. Whoops, where'd my cursor go? There it is. I think that the computer wants me to reboot. Sometimes I noticed macOS gets progressively worse. I guess this is true of all operating systems. When it starts installing updates in the background and it's been a couple months maybe and you haven't rebooted, things start to act funny as certain system libraries are unloaded from memory and reloaded. I actually have no idea what... I might just be blowing smoke out of my butt when I'm saying all that. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I was just going to show y'all. So what you do is you go to Application tab, and then, let's see, normally you can just go to Storage and say Clear Site Data. And that's what I'm going to do over here, so that it definitely will have to kick me back into the login prompts. So I'm going to go into Application, and I'm going to go to Clear Site Data. And I think I'm clearing everything. I'm even going to include third-party cookies, which shouldn't matter because it can't store third-party cookies in the first place. I think that's just a legacy option and for certain special exceptions. Anyway, with that done, let me go back here. I'm going to clear... Command K will clear this, by the way. Command K. See? Whoops. Oh, never mind. It clears this one. There we go. It'll clear web console just as well as it will clear terminal. All right. And I'm looking. Can I get this thing to pop out here? All right. Authorize. Client ID. Yep, that's the one. Callback. Code and state. And then I should see at some point after here, I'm expecting some JSON back, I think, because it's got to exchange that code. Let's see. ID token. Here we go. All right, so I'm going to grab this ID token. Holy moly, it's hecka long. And I'm going to verify it. By the way, the part of a token that is the secret part is the signature. So you could take the not signature part and you could share that with somebody and that would be just fine. So the token has 3 dots in it. It has 2 or 3 dots in it, depending on what type of token it is. If it's a Pasto, it has, I think it has 3 dots. If it's OIDC, it has 2 dots, or OAuth. And the last segment is the signature. That's the part that's the secret part that you shouldn't share with others. Key pairs, inspect, and then hit enter, and validated. Oh gosh, this is crazy. Okay, well, this problem is solved. I'm going to verify one thing. I'm going to verify that the access token does not validate. And then I need to, let's make sure that the access token doesn't validate, because whenever you're testing, always test the thing that you think will fail or that you know did fail, whenever something unexpectedly works, you know? Just make sure that the failure case is still a valid failure case. Okay, checking for OIDC key, not found on the access token. But was found for the ID token. Yes, found. Okay. Okay, so here, the OIDC key was found. Oh, good. Yep, I can log in now. That's awesome. All right. All right, Kai, you have a good one. Enjoy the beach. Adios. Thanks for stopping in and chatting. I appreciate it. Okay, this is not a fun screen to look at. Let's just at least put up something here. Okay, so verified ID token. But I think there's another problem, which I don't think is going to be a problem in this particular case. But I need to double check. But I think that they have a custom way of defining a key ID as well. So the key IDs, I believe they match, but it doesn't. The key ID is not the SHA-256 thumbprint of the key. That's not as big of a deal. It's annoying, but it is surmountable. Yeah, because I got an error here. Key ID does not match the public key thumbprint. Okay, so let me see if I can. Let me see if I can just decode this real quick. I'm going to come down to, where's the dot on this? It's hard to see it. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna cross-check this. I can't paste the token for a couple reasons. One of which is just that it's on a different screen here. But I used key pairs to validate the token, and it's giving me the error because key pairs is more strict. So I'm also going to paste the token in, but I'm just replacing the signature with XXX. That way, I'm not putting my valid signature in a browser. Okay, let's double check here. The key ID. Okay. The key ID seems to match the OIDC. Oh, I think maybe I see what's happening here. Okay, so the problem is that the key, when it fetches the public key, it calculates a different key ID than the key's thumbprint. Which that's not strictly part of the spec. It's just kind of loosey-goosey. The key ID can be an opaque value, but that doesn't make any sense. The key ID should be the thumbprint of the key. That does make sense. I don't know why anybody does anything else. If somebody knows why you would want a key ID, which is a public value, and the public key, which is a public value, to not be referenced by its thumbprint. Oh, bless me. Let me know. I've tried to construct an artificial argument for that. I have not been successful in understanding why someone would want to do that. Anyway, I'm going to go double check what it shows across the wire here, because I'm expecting to see that, because it's printing out to the screen. Key pairs is printing out to the screen not for the token. The token, it's the literal exact values, but it's printing out the calculated key ID because of the way that key pairs is written, and the way that Go. Hold on just a second. OpenID configuration. The way that the Go native crypto implementations work, they don't have a place in a key object for a key ID. So if the key ID isn't what can be calculated, then you have to have all this wrapper stuff, and I didn't want to deal with that. So key pairs doesn't like it. It still, I'm pretty sure it said it's still valid. It prints out, it says it's an error, but really it's a warning. Okay, I'm going to run verify just to be sure here. Let me go run verify. So I'm going to key pairs inspect will print out the value, and it will tell you if the keys match. But key pairs verify will actually give you a pass fail. Okay. And I think it passed. I don't see valid printed at the bottom. Anyway, that doesn't matter. JWK is URI. I'm just going to go grab the keys real quick. Let's go look at this. Whoops. Okay, and the key ID matches what's in the token. This is perfect. Okay. Toot. Let me go double check that over here. All right, cool. This is great. All right, so the solution to the problem with all of this Okta stuff that I give back to the client is basically I say, hey, no code changes are necessary. Just use the ID token, not the access token. Let's see. I'm going to construct this message. Hey, Tom, Dick, and Harry. Actually, I don't like that trio of names. We'll go with, hey, Joe, Jim, and John. There we go. Hey, Joe, Jim, and John. Because I don't say people's real names when I'm on the stream, usually. Unless it's a friend, Anyway, so hey, Joe, Jim, and John. Let's see. The solution here is so stupidly simple. Even the Okta guys gave us misinformation. All we have to do is set the React app to use ID token instead of access token. Everything else was a red herring. All right, that's that. Okay, I am going to go see if I can check here in the React app. If I can find access token. And so I think it's called auth state. So it should be auth state.id token instead of auth state.access token. So let me get over here to the Okta stuff. Auth state. Yeah, right there. And it should be a get ID token. Let's see. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna do a little bit of debugging to make sure that that's correct. But I think that was it. That was the whole of it. That was the whole thing. All that nonsense. Yep, that was it. Now, if I had been able to work directly with them today, we got this sorted out a bit quicker because, well, I don't know. It's really good that I did the stream because I was thinking about it because I'm billing for this time. I'm chatting it up with y'all, but I'm working. I'm billing for this time. And when I do the intro to the videos, I start out and I re-explain the problem. And I'm thinking, should I really take 5-10 minutes to re-explain the problem when I'm on the clock? But re-explaining the problem led to, it's just going back through the details. It's been a couple days. I need to do it anyway. I have to have a refresher for myself to kind of get my bearings. And then boom, it led to the solution. So I find that the rubber ducking aspect of streaming, it's 50-50. It's probably sixes. It probably doesn't make me more effective, but I don't think it makes me less effective either. There's areas where it makes me more effective. There's areas where it makes me less effective. But I think the rubber ducking, I don't know. I think in a whole, I think over time the rubber ducking and the being on camera and therefore being accountable to viewers for focus. I'm not getting distracted by checking my email. I'm getting distracted by chatting up with y'all, but I'm not getting distracted by checking my email or doing stupid stuff. So I think that's good. By the way, for those of you coming and going, if you do like it, give it a thumbs up. If you don't, give it a thumbs down. If you like it, share with somebody you like. If you don't like it, share with somebody you don't like. Sorry for the wink there. That was a little over the top. But yeah, all right. So I just need to edit this file here. Access token. So get ID token instead. Whoop. Get ID token. And then get ID token. And I'm actually just going to do, well, okay, Teams page, components, API, alrighty, and then I'm going to do get ID token. Right. I think I could basically replace all instances of access token with ID token, and that would work. Access token, sorry, get ID token. Get ID token. Components, star.js. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna rerun this process again. It looks like if I visit the Teams page, that should be the page that requires me to log in here. And then we should have a moment of truth. Well, kind of, sort of, because I don't actually know what they're hitting for the back end. So I'm going to have to take the real thing that I'm going to have to do is take the token. I'll just put it in an environment variable, and I'll come over here and I'll be able to test it. And we'll see that it actually really, really works. Or that it doesn't. But I think we're going to see that it really, really works. Okay, anyway, so I'm going to go over here, application, clear all site data, including third-party cookies. And then I'm just going to go to library here. Oh, wait, what, why is it upset? Why is it upset with me? Huh, that's weird. Strange. Okay. Apparently I closed out the terminal that I had the front end, the npm run start running in. All right, go into the Teams page, and not a lot of enchilada. I don't know what happened there, but did not seem to authorize me, as far as I can tell. All right, Teams, resource links. Yeah, I don't know what that did. Auth Teams page. components, auth teams page. How do I find out what URL this thing belongs to? Anybody on the chat into React? Auth teams page. Okay. I see a component. I don't know how the routing works. Or if there even is routing. Oh, it's /auth. Okay, it's not /teams, it's /auth. So I guess this was the auth test, essentially. All right, cool. Yeah, remember me. I gotta do my little push. I'm gonna say send push automatically. Yes, it's me. Okay. authState.getID token is not a valid function. Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna switch that up then. So I'm gonna do get ID token, and I'm gonna replace it with the ID token, and we're gonna do that in source components star.js and source components /star.js. All right, there we go. And then all right, let's go back. Teams page. And we're going to auth page. And then console log. Oh, interesting. Okay. Actually not sure. All right. Oh, that's interesting. Is this? Oh, that's really strange. Whatever. Okay, now I need to get this token over to where I can test it for certain. Now we're going to get back over to the other screen here. Just a second. Let's see. I'll put this in downloads as projectx.jwt. Boom. Okay. So now, let me get on over to Project X here. Project X. Okay, so now I'm going to grab... I'll probably need to disconnect from the VPN. No, I can do this. We're going to go... downloads projectx.jwt, and we're just going to plop that right here. Okay, yeah. So I actually have SSH running over Telebit because this is connected on a VPN, and so I can't access it on my local network. So yeah, I've got it set up that way, and that's working. Okay, so now what I should be able to do is I should be able to echo I don't know. It's been a while. So what I need to do is take this on the other screen, go into Project X here, and And let's see, I'm going to going into Project X, and then I'm going to look at my ENVs and see. Oh man. October 20th. Oh, I think I remember. Okay, so what I'm going to need to do, I think, is I'm going to want to basically run curl on 3080, so HTTP localhost 3080. Okay, and then I'm going to want to run OIDC inspect. Good. So I'm going to run this OIDC inspect in the other window here, but I'm going to add the authorization header to it, and this is the way that I'm going to do it. So I'm going to put -h, and we're going to do double quotes here, authorization bearer, and then I'm going to be doing cat projectx.txt. And because I'm not using bash, I'm using fish. That's why I don't have the $sign in front. But that's what I'm going to run this over on the other screen real quick. And if that doesn't work, I'm going to run it in bash. Oh, what's going on here? Unexpected token queue. Let's see. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this export my token equals, and then I'm going to do cat projectx.txt. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to run this in the other screen. I think I probably need to put this in quotes. Or actually, no, that's not how it works. Okay. I'm gonna try it with and without quotes. I think I don't put the quotes if I'm running in fish. Bum 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 bum. So over here, I'm doing an echo of my token. Yeah. So interesting. Well, I'm just going to do it in bash. And then I'll put the $sign. Usually I go into bash when I'm doing this sort of thing. Anytime something feels like scripting and less like general command linery. Oh, .jwt, that's the other thing. Let me just try that. I wonder if it was doing that because there was no file. Oh, okay. All right, yeah. So what it was is I put the .txt here, and it should have been .jwt. So let me try that. Oh, no, still didn't work quite right anyway. So we're going to do it in bash. Okay, now it's printing out my token correctly, and now I'm going to copy and paste this bit here, except it's going to be my token in there. All right, my token. All right, cool. That went through perfectly. And now I'm gonna pass it through verify. Verify. Oh, is that not what it is? Let me check and see what it is we need to do here. Was it app.js, inspect, config, profile? Profile, that's what I need to run. I probably should put a verify endpoint on there as well. All right, profile. Interesting. So let me make sure I'm doing that right. So let's look in lib, and I think it's under auth here. And then under profile, the endpoint's not missing. Headers, authorization bearer plus JWT and interesting. Bad gateway, huh? Oh, I wonder if the endpoint. Let me go check here. Let's go to example.okta. Is it this one? User info endpoint. Okay. Let me go check and make sure we're seeing the same thing over here. Because I think what may have happened is it may have given me a relative URL. That's what it looked like. User info. Okay, now that looks right. User info. Yeah, that looks right. Okay. I'm a little confused. What I'm going to need to do is I'm just going to need to test it myself manually. So I'm going to run just like I was doing over here. Whoops. So I'm going to do curl that, and then same thing, authorization bearer. And then we're going to have the my token in here, right? That's how we do it. Because that's what their documentation said to do. Interesting. So it's not working for me, and I'm wondering why. Let's see, 401, not authorized. Now it could be that the token's already expired. Oh. Let me try this. Yeah, I'm going to inspect the token again real quick. I think those tokens, they only last a couple minutes. So I think what may have happened is in the 10 minutes I've been doing this, I think the token's already expired. So I'm going to do a little key pairs inspect. And let's see. Auth time, expiration time. Yeah, so I see it's a difference of... Oh no, that seems to be reasonable. That looks to be a few hours. Okay, let's check this. Okay, new date. This time is 1000. That would give me tomorrow. Yeah, that's 8 hours away? Some number of hours away. Okay, so this should work. Let me go check their documentation again. They said user info request. Passing authorization server header. Is this access token can only be used to request user claims from Okta. Passing blah 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 blah. Okay, so I guess introspect. What? Let me go double check on this. So, okay. So user info has to be an access token, can't be an ID token? That's just tarded. This is stupid. Okay. So the user info basically gives you the same information as an ID token, but you have to have the access token in order to use the user info endpoint. But the user info endpoint is the endpoint that's specified in the OIDC URL. And the ID token is the token that validates against. Okay, let me make sure that I'm not requiring that anywhere else. User info endpoint. This is useless. All right, just to verify, if I understood the documentation correctly, what's telling me is if instead of using the user info endpoint, if I use the introspect endpoint, which is not in their config, see, now they're just ticking me off. Okay, because I don't think introspect is in here. Introspect. Oh, introspection endpoint. Okay, so there is an introspection endpoint. All right. Okay. The introspection endpoint requires what? Get authorization, HTTPS. What? The endpoint does not support the provided HTTP method. Error E bunch of zeros 22. Is that 22 for catch 22? Introspect. Okay. Okay, so a number of other people are getting this same error. I mean, I guess that's good news, somewhat. Okay, I gotta quit some of these things here. I don't know what is causing my machine to go bonkadonk, but something's causing my machine to go bonkadonk. Yeah, we gotta leave that one on. What is this one? We can quit that one. What is this one? What's this one? My wife must be watching a show. All right. I don't know what else it could be. I don't know why my computer's having these little mini freakouts. Probably because it's a computer and that's what computers do. No more explanation needed than that. All right. Okay. Wait. The protected resource calls the introspection endpoint using a post. What? Ugh. In their documentation, it says to use get. Look. Oh, no, that's user info. Sorry. Introspect. All right. My bad. My bad. Ah, crap. Okay, so apparently I need to look up how you do the introspection because it's not as simple as it would seem. Oh. All right, let's see. I thought there was some documentation here. Post, introspect, base URL, v1, introspect, yes. Be sure that using the same authorization server that you used to create the token, yes. Requires client authentication. Okay, so this is kind of confusing. Is this URL form? What can you give me an example? Is there an example? There's an example response example. Okay, what about request example? Do we have a request example? Request parameters, URL encoded form. Okay, URL encoded form. So we're going to back the truck up here, and we're going to do, I'll show you what this looks like in just a second. Let me bring this over. So we're going to use the F with curl. And I guess we'll do token equals, and then my token, right? Is that what we're doing here? My token, and then F, and then we need to have the, is this required? Token type hint. ID token, I guess. Oops. Ah, what happened? Crap. No, cancel. Token type hint equals ID token, and then dash F again. That's it. That's all we need, right? Response properties. Okay. Let's see. Curl form. Post form data with curl. Dash, oh, capital F. Okay, capital F. All right, then we have to set the accept header. And it probably needs to be something okay, content type headers. Let me do -v on this. I'll show you what this looks like right now. So you can see no, not now. All right, so this is what it looks like. Oops, let me put this in bash. That's what it looks like. Oh no, where'd my chat window go? Just in case any questions here. By the way, feel free to ask me questions. Let's see. So we're posting to the introspect URL. We're putting in my token. I think the problem may be that we need to get rid of this authorization bit now. That's run its course. So we don't use that anymore. Now we just use this. Okay, let me try it that way. No, it doesn't like content type headers or accept headers or something. I didn't specify them. I don't know, I might just give up on this. All right, I'm going to have to read this thoroughly. This endpoint's base URL varies depending whether you're using custom authorization server. See composing your base URL. The endpoint takes an access token, ID token, refresh token, or device secret. Returns a Boolean, indicates whether it's active, the token is active. Additional data about the token also returned. If the token is invalid, expired, or revoked, is considered inactive. Be sure you're using intro, blah, 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 blah. Same ID tokens can be sent to the endpoint. Introspect endpoint requires client authentication. Most client authentication methods require client ID and client secret. Most client authentication methods to be included in the authorization header. That's stupid. All right, must include client ID as a query parameter. All right, so we need to change this up again. So now we need a client ID, which I think I can get. So I'm just gonna prototype this out here. My client ID, and I'm gonna go grab the client ID if I can off of here. Okay. I'm gonna go grab client ID. Client ID. It's in here somewhere. I saw it in access tokens. authorize, client ID equals. Okay, cool. So now I can go grab the client ID. Great. Public value, project X, client ID.txt. All right, I'm going to go grab that over here. Downloads. Project X, client ID.txt. All right, boom, got it. Export client, whoops. My client ID equals cat project X client ID.txt. Echo my client ID. All right, good. That looks all well and good. So let's try this, which it says that the error message that I'm getting says that it might be the accept or, yeah, accept and or content type headers likely do not match supported values. But it doesn't say that I have to put a content type header here. I know technically there's supposed to be a application JSON plus Jose.vnd dot something something, but that doesn't seem to make sense here. I'm going to see if the Googles tell us something different. So introspect. Because I can put type hint content type needs to be, I'm pretty sure that's already set. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm doing multiple form data. Oh, you know what? That's what it is. Okay. So again, I'm doing it wrong. What this is supposed to be is -D here. Like that. This is what it is. I will show you. This should be -D for URL encoded, not binary, not form field. And then we put an ampersand there. All right, let me try this one more time. Invalid value for client ID parameter. All right, let me echo again. My client ID. That is a valid value. Let me go check over here. Let's make a client ID equals. Let me make sure I copied the whole thing, all the letters. And I did. All right. All right, so it's giving me, the error it's giving me is I guess one last thing I could try is I could try client ID. I could move. I'm pretty sure it said put the client ID in a query param. I think I said where it's supposed to be. But I'm gonna try running this without a client ID at all. Let me try that for a second. See if I get the same error. I do. So I'm gonna move the client ID. Because I think this is one of those red herring cases where what it really means is missing client ID. Okay, that was it. Okay, so I could have sworn. Let's go back and look at the documentation they have here. Okay, you must include the client ID is a query parameter when calling introspect. So that is a lie. That's a lie. This is false. You must include the client ID as a form data. So, and also, yeah, meh. I'm going to try one more thing. I'm going to try one more thing, which is I'm going to try moving. See, they should just have curl there. They should have curl that works. It's okay. Let me go try this. Introspect.sh, because I'm sure I'll need that. Boom, boom, boom. All right. Okay, so there we are. But the thing that I want to try, I'm just curious about this, is what if I take the client ID and we remove it from here and we move it into the other place that they've documented it? User. Oh, dang it. That'll just be interesting to see. I don't think it's going to work. I just want to see what happens. I'm just curious at this point. All right, client ID. H authorization. Oh, I guess. User. And so this way we have an empty password. Yep, okay. So this is it right here. That's the end all be all. Those are the two ways to go about it. Okay. So, that said, I think I need to add an environment variable here. For the client ID. So we're going to go with OIDC client ID equals, and I'm going to pass in that value that I've got here. Project X client ID. We're just going to stick this into the environment. And I'm going to put this, and bring this back over here. By the way, if anybody wants to chat a little bit, I do enjoy the chat when we have the chat. So hello to those of you that have joined in recently. I'm AJ. I'd love to know what brings you here, what you're up to tonight, and any coding questions that you have. Okay, what am I going to look at? Example.env. That's what we want here. So we've got OIDC issuers. Let's go OIDC client ID equals. There we go. We'll have that. And then I don't know if this is Okta specific or if this is part of the OIDC spec. I think it's Okta specific. So I don't know if we could. I don't know if we could. If we could make this generic. Oops. OIDC. Whoops. Client ID. Yeah, let's do this. We're going to set that client ID, and then we're going to go change. We got a user info, and we've got a I already got this one called profile. But we're going to make an introspect here. Introspect. And then introspect endpoint. I think that's what it was called, right? Let's go check that again. It is called introspection endpoint. Missing introspection. All right, let's change all of user info here. User info introspection. Boom. Boom. All right, good. And then we don't do the headers here. Instead, we don't do JSON. Instead, we do, was it body, and then token equals, I'm going to see if I can run this again without the token type hint, because if we don't need something, why add it, right? So let's see if I can get rid of the token type hint. All right. This looks about right. Client ID. Let's see. Export my client ID equals cat. There we go. And then same thing with my token. My token equals cat project X .jwt. Okay. Try this again. Okay, cool. So that works. So we don't need the hint. So I'm not going to do it. And we're just going to do token equals rec.jwt. So there we are. And then I guess headers, I do need to specify now content type. Well, let me go check if I've got this already in request. So I'm just going to look at the source code real quick and see how I handled this. I think I put in here URL encoded if what? If ops.form form versus form data. Got it. Okay, cool. So we can just set this to be form, and then we can set token yada 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 yada, like so, like that. And then client ID, OIDC client ID. Okay, so we'll do this. Let form equal form. And then we're going to say if form dot, there we go, config, yeah? Yeah, okay, cool. Okay, so that's automatically going to become a post. And then we'll have introspect. And then we will do introspect. Like so, like that. npm run start here. Okay, and then let's see if now I can run introspect. Okay, that's a little bit wrong. And the reason, I know why it's a little bit wrong. Introspect, because I forgot to specify that this is in fact a JSON endpoint. So form true, JSON also true, meaning I'm expecting to get back JSON. There we go. And then run this again. Boom. Beautiful. And I get nice, pretty printed output here. Just kind of looking that over. It looks good. Excellent. Okay. Oh, and by the way, with all of these, what I ought to do is pass them all to JQ. Just to get nice, pretty printed. All right, let me take a look at the README here. OIDC config. Introspect. And then we might get what? Token type. There we go. Okay, so that's all good. Let's see what we got here. What bunches of changes did we make? We added some stuff to the README. We added some stuff to the API. We added some stuff to the config, to the example.env. Added some actual code. I don't think we added anything to the tests. So I think everything except for what's in tests is what should be added. So README, app, config, example, lib. And just one more time, I'm going to look at that again. All looks good. And I do we have any examples here? I either want an examples or a scripts or a something like that. Utils. I'm going to put this in examples and we'll call it introspect Okta. My token is my ID token. Although I suppose that could be either. Note, user info can only be gathered with access token. Bump. Okay. My client ID is referenced but not assigned. My ID token is referenced but not assigned. That's okay. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. And I'm going to say git commit -m feature add introspect endpoint. Let's see if I can pull git stash. Let's see, can I get pull? Rewinding head to replay your work on top of it. Let me see what that's about. I need to go check that out. Git branch, git log. Final test. Final test. Final test. Okay, so no real code changes. All right, well, I think it's about my bedtime. It's 3 a.m. So thanks for joining in. Those of you that joined in, for those of you that didn't, well, I'll see you next time, or I won't. It's gonna be a rough next couple of streams, the next few sessions, because I've got to get caught up on that payment stuff, and it's gonna be just annoying to get caught up on the payment stuff. But yeah, a few more days just doing this again. It's so easy. It's so easy to break a habit and get out of get out of a good rut into a bad rut. But I'm just gonna get back to it. Try to get my energy back. Try to get my feng shui back. That's not the right term at all, but you know what I'm talking about. Get back into a good groove. There we go. It's called a rut when it's bad. It's called a groove when it's good. Yeah, anyway, I'm going to try to get into a good one of those. Yeah, and I'm just going to go log hours real quick. Got to pay off my MacBook somehow. Oh gosh, it's literally been a month since I last logged hours. All right, let's see. Was it 12/2? And then I actually put in a little bit of time the other day, and I think, didn't we get on a call? Let me think about this. When was that? That wasn't a month ago, was it? I gotta think on this for a second. Yeah. But essentially, one of the things that I do, and this comes as I can only take on so much work, and any work that I take on, if I have to do anything during the day, I have to basically have a minimum charge for that, which my minimum is an hour. I will typically charge by the half hour, but with a minimum of an hour. So if somebody needs me to work 15 minutes on something, then I charge an hour because that disrupts my flow for the day. Not that it disrupts my flow for the whole day, but you know what I'm saying. It's the overhead cost of context switching and pulling me away from other things, or whatever it is. So I'm also going to be just putting in an hour as just communication and emails and phone calls, and where it's a little 5 minutes here and 10 minutes there or something, that I'm just going to track as a single hour. I mean, I guess I'm not really strict about the always. If something takes me 5 minutes, I don't necessarily charge an hour for it, but the little 5-minute things that happen throughout the week, I just throw that into an hour. Okay, let's see here. Token problems solved and documented. Okay. So I did, actually I still need to do one last test. So I tested almost everything. All right, so let's do a run start here. And then over on the other screen, I didn't actually test the last thing that I finally need to test, which does it work not just with the introspection endpoint, but does it work with the actual endpoint in question. Let me go check the README real quick, the actual important stuff that's the money, as it were. Let's see. Yeah, this is the one. API user token. Let's make sure that we can do the token exchange here. And where do we have, oops, where do we have Okta token? Okta token. So, okay, so we need that for this one as well. Okay, so I need to test at least two things here. Let's go ahead and try this one. Oh, it failed to connect because, duh, npm run start. Okay. All right, good. That worked. All right, now I need to make sure that, I'm going to go look in the env file for, what do we have? Take a look at, let's say, upcoming birthdays here. Oh. Let's see. What was the API supposed to be? API was workday. Oh, duh. All right, let's try this again. I think they may have changed the name of the report. Let me see if I've got another one here, because I would have expected that one to work. Let's try maybe new hires. These are KPIs. Oh, because I'm doing a post rather than a get. That was my problem. Okay, yep. All right, it works. Cool beans. All right, so I have verified, confirmed. Let me just verify, confirm that I'm not also setting skip verify. Nope, I'm not setting skip verify. Let me just verify that I'm not doing skip verify. Oh, insecure skip verify is true there. Okay, so let me reload this. Whoop. Okay. And then make sure that the verification is intact and run it again. Internal server error. Okay. So something is broken. Tokens exp has passed or cannot be parsed. Maybe. I don't think so. I don't know what's going on there. Let's just double check. Node new date dot value of, and the new date times 1000 dot value of. All right, what have we got in difference here? Oh yeah, true that, true that. Okay, so the token has indeed expired during the time. I guess it lasts an hour. Yeah, that is newer. Okay, this shan't be a mo. Let me grab this. Okay. All right, let's get this updated here. And get this copied back over. All right, that looks good. And again, export my token equals cat. And then let's take a look again. Okay. All right. It went through perfectly. So let me go back and try that other report, because it probably didn't actually change names. I probably just was using the wrong token. Well, and I was doing a post instead of a get. That was the core problem. All right, sweet. Everything's there. Excellent, excellent, excellent. How wonderful. Hey, Gurvia, what's up? Did I pronounce that right? I'm actually just getting off, but hello, how are you? Where are you from? What do you do? What brings you to the channel today? I'll stay on for just a minute more so we can chat just a teensy bit. But I am confident that I have done what the client needs me to do. I've tested it. Yeah, so this is good. Yeah, you can ask me something IT career related. I used to do IT, so I know a little bit about that. Go ahead. Let's see, just give me a second while I write a message to my colleagues with the client here. I implemented Okta's token introspection as well, just to verify the token details, and in case we need it, I've tested. I didn't change the tests because the logic. But I have, let's see, I haven't changed the test because the logic didn't change, but I've manually tested the Okta ID token in the various scenarios, and everything seems to work. All of this confusion was simply a matter of mismatch between their different docs, and some docs being out of date with the current iteration of their libraries / API. Shrug. What a do. But hey, it works now. All right, come on. Sorry, I'll check comments in just a second. Why is my emoji mabob not coming up? Come on. Where are you, emoji mabob? Oh, well. No, function key's not working for it either. Well, that's interesting. Huh. I'll have to check that out. Okay. Actually, let me... Sorry, I'll be right with you. I'm assuming you wrote something. I don't actually have the chat up on the screen. So I need to go on a keyboard here and press to show emojis. That's what I want. Let's see if it'll work. Come on. What's going on here? There it is. I didn't change the test because the logic changed, but I've been able to log in with the existing front end and manually test my own Okta ID token in the various scenarios, API scenarios, and everything is working great. All right, there we go. Boom, 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 boom. All right, cool. Let me check here. All right, is Servicenow developer a good career option? Gosh, I don't know. I don't know what Servicenow is. ITIL development, ITIS. I don't even know what that means. I'm sorry. I'm not familiar with that. Let me Google that real quick. Servicenow. I'm assuming that's a company. Is it something similar to Upwork? Servicenow. American software company based in Santa Clara, keeps cloud people who help companies manage digital workflows, enterprise solutions. This is, who even knows what that means? This is buzzword bingo here. Servicenow does stuff for enterprise. I'm actually gonna have to check them out. I wonder what does this mean? Rise to any business challenge. Yeah, like sitting in a square. Everybody needs to sit in squares. This is a difficult business problem. Somebody's got to solve it. ServiceNow has the solution. Duh. Yeah, workflows for sitting in squares while checking your phone. Yes. It's rapid change, lasting opportunity, context sales. Yes. Let work flow from anywhere. Digital workflow, streamlined journey to hybrid workforce. Oh, wow. Oh, okay. So now we can actually see what this looks like. All right. So if you want to be a lady laying in a half moon circle, mabob, a blue one, then you need requests and approvals. You need new laptop requests. IT workflows. Okay. I just love this buzzword bingo stuff. Sort of another Salesforce, huh? Okay. So ITIL, what the heck is ITIL? IT, I'm guessing IL means something. Infrastructure library. Detailed practices. Assets management. Okay. Yeah, this is beyond what I did for IT. When I think of IT, I think more, I guess DevOps is what, now it's called DevOps. They used to call it IT, now it's called DevOps. Being able to do deployments, being able to manage servers, file sharing. Well, I guess file sharing would be DevOps. ITIL. Yeah, I don't know. This I will say. Learn the basics of whatever you're doing really well. Learn the fundamentals. If you're going to learn Windows, learn Windows well. If you're going to do Linux, do Linux well. If you're going to do Mac, do it well. Whatever you do, be one of the best. Don't try to learn everything. Try to learn fewer things better. That's how you stand out. Okay, developing platform for client management, ticketing, HR communication portal. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure that there's a boom of that right now, especially it was going to boom anyway, but I'm sure it's booming in ways that weren't originally anticipated with Corona. So, yeah. So I hope that was a good enough answer for you. Sorry that I don't. That's something I'm not really familiar with. But I have got to hit the hay because it is now 3:21 my time, and I'm still going to work tomorrow. So, got to get some sleep. But for everybody that joined in, thanks for joining in again. Like if you want to, and if you do like, share with someone you like. Otherwise, dislike and share with someone that you don't like. Subscribe if you want to. And be sure to check the doobly-doo, click all the things, check out the related and unrelated links. Anything you want to know about camera setup gear, all that, it's in the doobly-doo. It's in the kit.co links. And as far as coding, project ideas, and resources for learning, we got creedsofcraftsmanship.com. For tools, we got webinstall.dev. All that's down in the doobly-doo. Thank you very much. Gorvijay. I don't know where the accent should go. The not emphasis. I don't know where the emphasis should go on that. But you have a good night too. All right. Adios. Boop. Click. Click. Needs a reboot.